Good morning, loving being. How are you? I hope you're really, really well. And there's so much that I could share with you today, but really, it's just about one thing, I guess. But I just wanted to wish you well to begin with, and hope that you're really, really fabulous in your own life and that things are going your way, and just express my absolute gratitude for you for being here, whether you're watching this through the newsletter, on the YouTube channel, or on other social media and so on. However, if we're connected in some way, then I'm really, really grateful for you. It's quite an overwhelming day here because it's the first day that my new book, Signposts of the Spiritual Journey, is actually out in the world proper. It's publication day. And so many feelings. So happy that it's out. If you can imagine having spent the best part of 3 years since the inception of the idea, after being approached by Watkins and Penguin Random House to write for them, through to today. And all the promotional stuff that's been going on in the last few weeks and everything, which I'm profoundly grateful for. You're going to find me in so many places at the moment. It's crazy about the book, but it's just been such an amazing process. But literally, I've thought about only this one thing as a kind of central theme in my life. Of course, I've thought about other things too, and been on other things, but this has been like the center of everything. So the fact that it's out there now, that it could be in your hands, that you may turn to it and find a friend in this book, a map, support to connect into the deeper meaning of your own sweet life. Because this is not a book about becoming somebody else. It's not a spiritual book about adding things to yourself. It's about finding out who you really are and actually moving that into action through your life. Not through any egoic pushing or shoving, but by becoming congruent with the naturalness of it. Almost as if we plant kind of an acorn, we want to kind of create the best conditions for the tree to grow, and it grows into an oak tree. But imagine a poor oak tree that's been put in the ground, that hasn't had the water that it needs, the sun that it needs, that it has people telling it it's a cherry tree all the time, so it doesn't know its own name as oak, or that it actually hasn't even really got that name, that it's a life in itself and a being in itself. Well, I think we're the same. The human beings are the same. We human beings. So this might help with that, with seeing the seed of who you really are, and about creating the conditions to return to your congruence, to become congruent with that true force that's inside you. And we use all sorts of words about this, but I like it that the subtitle of the book is called The Practical Roadmap to a Meaningful Life, because it's not just the word spiritual here, because that practical return to meaning is the spiritual path, quite honestly, and that attention and love and awareness in your own life is the spiritual path. And that can be part of our religions, even though they're different. It can be part of all of our expressions, even if we have no religions and so on. Meaning is still there, love is still there, and I don't know about anybody else, but the core of my life has always said to me, try and just learn how to really be here while you're here. Try and actually be of this life rather than caught in things of future and past and stories and reaction. And it's not that those things don't exist, but that we are kind of whole sort of within that. And we know ourselves within that. So basically it's know thyself, but not just know thyself, but how to know thyself. So it's out. it's every country. It's with Watkins in the UK, with Penguin Random House in the rest of the world. It's on Audible. It's, you know, you can get it every single way that there is. There's an ebook version of it and all that sort of stuff as well. And really, I just hope it's, if you do feel pulled towards it or drawn to it or somebody gives it to you, that it is of huge support and love and kindness to you in helping you with that journey of sort of coming to your own life, you know, in that meaningful way. And even if you're already living a very good life, I think, you know, there's always areas where we could bring a little more awareness, a little more attention, open our hearts a bit more, you know, recover from blockages and things like that. Because we're never done. There's not an end point. It's a continuous unfolding life. And I think where we get it wrong is we think everything just has to be like done and then that's it. Whereas when we engage with that unfolding nature of that seed of life within us, then we're kind of, you know, really with it. We're really with life then. So bless you for being part of this journey. I know some of you, you'll have seen me, seen the video where I signed the contract for the book a couple of years ago. You'll have seen me doing the draft. You'll have seen me, you know, scratching my baldy head, trying to figure out what the heck to do. You'll have seen, you know, all sorts. I've shared this very kind of lovingly and openly with you. And in many ways, you know, those of you who come to my classes and open spaces and retreats and things like that, you've been my teachers by your questions, your presence, the things of your life that cause reflection for me in the role of teacher. That's made me look as to what's real. That's made me look as to not what the right answer is, but how can we meet this in a loving way and create space around that. And so that's all that the sharing is. It's everything that I've learned from you in a way. You're my teacher, which is just so beautiful. So I do genuinely mean that as well. So I bow to you, my teacher, my wonderful friend who I probably don't know, or I only know through the computer or something like that. But we feel our presence together, you know, and I'm just so moved and touched that there's this connection, even though, you know, we may not actually know each other as people. That's it really. So I'll post links down below if you want to be able to grab the book and stuff. If you want to share about the book in your own places, I'll actually share something around, you know, how you, because we've got no PR really in the US. So if you want to kind of, or in India and places like that. So, you know, all word of mouth is the best PR that there is. I know that. So should you wish to use your word of mouth in support of the book, I've got a little list of things that kind of could be effective. I'd love to hear back from you if you have any ideas on how we can kind of word of mouth this into kind of reaching more people who need it. And then finally, I just want to invite you to, we have the open space on the 27th of November. So that's this weekend, actually. 8 p.m. British time. So do check, you know, Time Buddy or whatever, or your world clock, and see what time that is for you if you're in a different part of the world. I try and make it so that it kind of lines up with most of the world in some doable way. And the open space is donation, so anybody can attend at whatever level you feel like, and it's for everybody, because some people think that meditation is only for a certain kind of person, or spirituality or sacred life, which is more the way I think is sacredness and intimacy and congruence and wholeness, that's only for certain kinds of people, that you need to have this kind of political belief or feel like that. But actually life is all of us. So meditation and the sacred life is for all of us, and any change that needs to occur will occur because of our engagement with that sacred seed of life within us, not because of somebody's convincing or pressure on us or anything like that. So the open space is an opportunity to sit for an hour, to actually open up a little bit and let go of the grip of those things that perhaps we hold on to very tightly in the world as our placeholders to say who we are, and to actually connect to who we are in a more true way. And it's kind of a largely silent thing, so we're not doing that looking for agreement with each other and stuff like that as well, which is fantastic. On the 8th of December, I have an event with Watkins Publishing called 3 Words That Change Everything, and you're welcome to that. It's a free event. Just look for it on Eventbrite, but I'll post a link for it as well. And that's going to be on Zoom at 6 p.m. UK time. So again, check your world clock. And we're going to be talking about something from the early part of the book, which is that there are 3 words that really are the key to accessing meaning. And even if you've read the book by that point, or read that section, I want to look at it, more deeply and more personally and so on. So we're going to open that up. We're going to have a bit of a meditation together, and there's a chance to ask me things. And actually, there's another event on the 2nd of December at, I think it's 5:30 UK time, on the Wellness Coach app, but you can also access that for free on the web. And it's a Zoom app too, and it's other places. And I do quite a lot of work with Wellness Coach. They're one of my partners, and I teach live classes on there 2 or 3 times a week, which are, if you want to come and sit with me for free, just come to those. Those are wonderful classes. And they've been so kind as to want to do an event around Signposts. And there's going to be a number of giveaways of copies of the book, digital copies of the book. Apparently they want me to come up with a question that you can answer, and if you answer that question you get a copy of the book. So I'm trying to think what it could be. Do I make it tricky or do I make it a really simple question? I think I'll make it a really simple question, and I might accidentally share the answer in a video beforehand or something, Anyway, so do come to that too if you like, and lots of love to you. I'm so grateful for you, and I've got a class in 35 minutes, so I better post this to the YouTube, make myself a coffee, and get in that place of readiness for teaching. Thank you for everything, my friend. Thank you. It's great walking alongside you and being walked with. Take care.